Okay, so a couple of really cool things going on in this line. The first thing is the way that he is utilizing the 5 chord. So this is happening over A Night in Tunisia. It's the minor 2-5-1 to G minor. And when he's soloing over this, he's actually not thinking of the 2 chord at all. So rather than thinking A minor 7 flat 5 and D7, he's just playing D7 over that entire thing, which is a cool thing that you can do, and it gives you some interesting new tonalities to experiment with. And he also does melodic minor over the 1 chord, which is really cool. It gives you some really colorful sounds to mess around with. So we start with our ring finger on F on the 2nd string, and we do F, and then pointer finger goes down to E flat on the same string, and then we just move our pointer finger up a string to G sharp. Once we hit G sharp, that's beat 1 of the A minor 7 flat 5 chord, so it's a little pickup. It comes in on the and of 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so that E flat is the and of 4, and then you hit G sharp, and that's beat 1. So from the G sharp, we have this G sharp, then you put your pinky on F sharp on the 2nd string, then pinky jumps up to B on the 1st string, and then your middle finger goes to A on the 1st string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then ring finger goes back to F on the 2nd string, pointer finger on E flat, and then pointer finger on G sharp. So if you look at those notes in relation to A minor 7 flat 5, it doesn't make any sense, because we have we start on the major 7 of the A chord, then we have the natural 6. Both of those notes aren't typically utilized over a minor 7 flat 5 chord. But like I was saying before, what he's actually doing is he's thinking D7 over the entire thing, and he's doing like a little scale pattern out of the half whole diminished scale, the D half whole diminished. So those notes would be D, E flat, F, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and C. And he's kind of messing around with this pattern. You've probably heard this before. It's a pretty common pattern out of the half-whole diminished scale. And if you would like to get into some patterns in the half-whole diminished scale, I'll put a link in the comments for a video I did a while back where I go through 10 patterns in half-whole diminished. So looking at it in relation to that makes it a little bit more clear as to what's going on, because like I said, if you look at some of those notes against A minor 7 flat 5, it doesn't really line up. But that's a little soloing technique that you can utilize anytime you're playing over any sort of 2-5-1. You can just think the 5 chord the entire time if you want, and it can give you some really interesting tonalities. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now after that, we have this little slur. So this is an example of something that lines up better on saxophone than it does on guitar. So the way that I kind of compensated for it was I went like this. So I put my ring finger on F sharp on the 2nd string, and then I go up to the 1st string and I do a slur. I do A, hammer on to B flat, and then hammer on to B. So I just go up all 3 fingers. So okay, and then from there, my middle finger goes to F on the 2nd string, right after that quick slur. So if we look at those notes in relation to the D7 chord, once we hit this E flat to G sharp, that's the D7 chord. So if you look at those notes, we have the flat 9, flat 5, major 3rd, then a slur up to the natural 13, and then the sharp 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then this ending is where it gets really cool with the melodic minor. So from there, I just move my ring finger down 2 frets to E flat, and this is on the and of 4. And then we go down a half step to D. Once we hit the D note, that's when it resolves to the G minor chord. So we resolve to the 5th of the G minor chord, and we do this cool. So I pick all of those notes. So D, pointer finger on A, pinky on C, back up to D with your pointer finger, and then pointer finger goes to B flat. So intervallically, that's 5, 2, 4, 5, flat 3, and then he ends with the melodic minor. He goes D, E, F sharp, and I'm doing my pinky, pointer, ring. So intervallically, why that's melodic minor is because he goes from the 5 to the 6 to the major 7. And that's just such a colorful way to end the line, especially ending on that major 7. Kind of has like a dark, eerie sound to it. I always love when people do that. So So the entire thing really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Okay, so a lot of really interesting stuff going on there. And that's it. That's our episode for this week. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. And if you would like to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/Mike Gaudette Music. And that's it. I will see you guys at the next episode. Take care.